Hey guys, welcome to part 23 of Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver for the DS. In the last part we took on our rival again and had a pretty hard time beating him. And we start off being in the Team Rocket hideout, and there's kind of... yeah, that puzzle just there, that's the end of it. And it's actually a really cool puzzle. I actually kind of really like it, and I wish they kind of used it a bit more and didn't kind of skate over it. Pretty much you come to this room that we're in now, and there's all these different coloured squares on the floor and then 3 buttons, and every time you hit the, if you hit the blue button, then every door that is by one of the which is by the blue squares either opens or closes depending on what it was. So what you have to do is try and hit the buttons in the right order to make sure that the door opened, or there's a path from the button or to where all the switches are to where I am now. And as I mentioned before, because I had to re-record this part quite a bit, I knew exactly what to do, or I knew how to get past it very quickly. And that's kind of a shame. I kind of wanted to show off that puzzle a bit more. And it's also kind of a shame that it doesn't return. That's literally it. Now, if you wanted, you could actually spend a lot more time in that puzzle and in that room hitting all the switches, because there's a couple of items to get. I don't know if they're any good, and they're probably not. I would assume they're not worthwhile getting. And if they are, then you can just come back and get them, I guess. And there's a few more trainers that you want to fight. But, of course, this is the Team Rocket hideout, or taking on Team Rocket. So if there's one thing I did not want to, or didn't want to do, and add to this video, is me fighting more Team Rockets. I mean, we've seen it before. It's a bit repetitive if you ask me. So yeah, I just decided to skip out on all those trainers and rush through that puzzle. And yes, the fluff. Oh, the fluff is so good now. It's so cool. Ampy or Ampharos, so whatever the actual Pokemon is called, I don't care. Oh, see, at this point, my Pokemon squad is almost fully evolved, which is kind of depressing because the fluff now is fully evolved. E-Rock will never grow up, which is very depressing, you know, Peter Pan or something. Mega Dude is fully evolved, so yeah, it's kind of weird having a squad that's not going to hit like all their third evolutions at this kind of stage. Because I have to be honest, when I play Pokemon, I'm pretty happy with the squad I've picked for this LP, but when I play Pokemon games, I usually go for the Pokemon that evolve twice and hit third evolutions. So it's really cool when you make that kind of choice, because it means that you get to one stage in the game, and because I keep all my Pokemon levels at the same kind of, the same kind of level, and then I just hit one part of the game, which is usually this part, because I usually have 5 Pokemon, and then all my Pokemon just start evolving. Yeah, Mr. Sublime is never going to evolve. There's no Mr. Mime Senior, it doesn't exist, so yeah, it's kind of weird to have that when I'm playing a Pokemon game. And it's one of the reasons why I was kind of put off Slowbro when I had it in my Heart Gold playthrough, I guess I should say, because he can evolve into Slowking, but of course you have to go through the nonsense of trading it with a King's Rock, and I'm just not going to do it. It's just so stupid. I don't know, I've ranted about bad evolutions and how annoying some of them can be before, so I won't go on about it again, but the only one I'm actually annoyed about in this game is E-Rock not evolving into Golem, because Golem's a really good Pokemon, and as you can see, E-Rock actually doesn't have that much health. E-Rock only has 78 health, and a big thing about evolving Gravel into Golem is that you get the big health boost, which I really do need, so that's kind of annoying, but I guess there's nothing I can do about it. And yes, that was the Safari Zone guy, and I thought that because we already did his first test, so he said, I'll call you once you can do the second test. And I don't think it's about time, because Pokemon games, they don't usually like to have timed events. They usually do it by steps. So I don't know it exactly, but it seems to me that it's steps. Like, once you do so many steps after doing the test for the first time, the Safari Zone warden will then call you up and say, come and do the second test. And I thought it was one of those things that it was it was at certain points, like it was set a bit like how when you left the lighthouse the guy called you up and said it's the Safari Zone open. It might not be steps, because here's the thing, he called me up after I beat that Team Rocket grunt, so I would assume it's either steps and it's after an event or after a transition, because on the failed recording he actually called me up when I was inside the radio tower again. because I didn't go to the Pokemon Center as much in the original recording. But this is also something really quite nice, that it actually has something where you can, or Pokemon actually do help you out in the real world. Like, you know, pretty much it's not really a puzzle. All you have to do is talk to one of the trainers when they're right next to a Machoke, and then that trainer will order the Machoke to move the box and you can get the items. And the items were okay and they're nice to get. And this is what I was talking about in the last part, how the underground is really cool. Because what we just did is that we went to the underground tunnel, went all the way round, saved the director, and now we're in the Goldenrod shopping mall, I don't know, shopping centre. And you end up in the bottom floor and we're right there, which is really cool, I think. Yeah, sorry that I didn't actually show off the Goldenrod's shopping centre. I really think there's a better name for it, but there's really nothing there that's of interest. If there was something I needed, maybe I'll go there again. Well, if this LP goes like my Pokemon Pearl LP, I'll probably head there at the end of the game to beat the Elite Four. So, in case you're not too sure, it's pretty much the same as the Celadon one. And you're probably wondering, what the heck was the point of all that? But yeah, it was just to go get the car key. And now the cool thing is that we can come back to this place and actually go to the real top of the tower, which I think is a really cool touch. Although it's kind of weird how much of an event this radio tower thing is. It's really not a big deal that Team Rocket took over the radio tower. I mean, I don't want to insult the radio tower and all their wonderful programming, but it's not a big deal. They just took over the programming. And one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that if you actually turn on your radio, all the stations will actually have Team Rocket programming on it, and will just have Team Rocket talking about how great they are and hail Giovanni and things like that, which is really cool actually. A really nice touch. But again, it's not really a big deal. Really, it's not that bad. I mean, Team Galactic were threatening to destroy the universe to make a new one. That's a big deal. That's like, Jesus, don't do that. I mean, don't kill everyone. That's the worst idea in the world. And then Team Magma wanted to have every volcano on the planet erupt, and Team Aqua wanted to flood the whole world so they could just swim around, have a splash. And then Team Plasma wanted to, well, that's kind of a bit confusing. They had a couple of goals in there, most of them evil, but you see what I'm saying. Team Rocket really, this was the biggest threat in the whole game. This was Team Rocket, because there wasn't really that much of a threat. Well, they're threatening people. Out of everyone, Team Rocket are the most threatening team, which is ironic because what they're threatening is definitely the weakest thing in the end. Although I'm assuming because we come to the radio tower and stop them, whatever they were going to do, like, I don't know, go around and punch all the Vulpixes in the face and stamp on a couple of Pidgeys, or whatever their evil deed was, block out the sun, I don't know. But yeah, by us stopping them in the radio tower, that's them stopped for good. Because this is it, this is the final Team Rocket main event. I believe there's more Team Rocket stuff to do afterwards, don't quote me on that, but this is the last big one, which is why we're actually fighting all the executives that we've seen throughout the game. And once again, Lyra's calling, but there's no way I'm answering to her. I've ignored every single call that she's, you know, made. Like, there's a load that happened off screen when I'm going to heal my Pokemon that nope, I'm just not gonna, I don't want to talk to her. She has nothing useful to say. But yes, so this is kind of cool. This idea is pretty much ripped directly out of the 4th generation, or Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. The idea of these executives being throughout the game. And I don't really like their design because they should be in all black and look super Team Rocket-y. But every single one of these executives look like they could easily be in Team Galactic. Which is kind of, they could have put a bit more of an effort in it. I mean, they literally did just steal the idea of having these executives throughout the game from Diamond and Pearl and from Team Galactic. So, I mean, I like the idea of it, because it's definitely cool being in this radio tower and being like, oh, it's that guy that I killed his coffin before because he was eating slowpokes or whatever. So yeah, it does kind of make it feel more like an actual, you're actually taking down all of Team Rocket. Because in the original, it's just like, save the director, you know, Because before in the first gen they had Giovanni, so it was like, oh, stop Giovanni, stop Team Rocket, here's the leader, he wears a suit, he's probably meant to be like Tony Soprano or something like that. But in this game they don't really have that, and they never had that in the original. They didn't have that many personalities, or not in the same way anyway, definitely not in the same way, so I thought that was pretty cool. And this was all the, these executives were the hard fights that I was talking about. As in, they're not really that hard, but I had a surprising amount of difficulty taking on this Arbok. Poison types is one of those types that I always completely blank out on about what, you know, what is super effective against poison types. Now I know, and the one that I go to now is psychic types. But other than that, I really have no idea, because logically what I always think is that, oh, it's fire type. And it hasn't been fire types for years. I remember playing the originals, Pokemon Red and Blue, and being like, oh, Poison Gym, I'll just use fire types. And then it not being effective and being like, ah, it's fine, just using like Charmander anyway. But it's still, I still can't get it in my head. I've looked it up, but I just always forget. I don't know. Because I just don't know every single type matching. I know a couple of them, and I know all the main ones. I know all the ones that are pretty much required to know, like fire, grass, electric, ground, all the main ones. But poison, I don't know. Poison types show up a lot, but they show up enough with Team Rocket to the point where it's a problem that I don't know what beats poison. But it's not a big enough deal because Team Rockets are easily defeated anyway, so it doesn't matter. But this guy's Archer, which is a tough battle. I didn't lose, I actually did manage to beat him, but this can be a really tough one, just because of how stupidly high these Pokemon are. That's pretty much what it comes down to, and he has a pretty cool Pokemon, Houndour and Houndoom, which are, I mean, they must have been designed especially for Team Rocket. I mean, look how evil that dog is. I mean, it's ridiculously evil. It's Hitler's dog right there. It's just a massive, like, hound devil beast thing. So, yeah, but as you can see, level 38, that's insane. I mean, I beat it, but I can easily see why somebody wouldn't beat this first time. I believe it's dark and fire type, so that's why I sent Megadude out originally, but then Megadude's now dead, so now I kind of have to improvise here. But luckily for me, because the fluff evolved and now it's Thunder Punch just destroys everything. Well, apart from Geodudes, but that's not the point. It destroys a lot, okay? A lot gets destroyed by Fire Punch. So really I didn't have that much of a hard time against this guy, but if he can take out his Houndoom, then, you know, it's clear sailing. Sure, he has a level 35 Coffin, which is so weird that he has a level 35 Coffin, I guess. I mean, they could have given him a Weezing. I'm guessing the reason why he has a level 35 Coughing rather than a Weezing is to make this battle easier, because he already has a level 35 Houndour and a level 38 Houndoom, so I guess they, you know, wanted to make it easier. So that's about it for Team Rocket. Like he said, he's just disbanded Team Rocket, so overall, this is probably, in all the games, I would say this is the best team. Yeah, I would say Team Rocket probably is the best team and has the best events. I mean, they're cool. Team Rocket, they're evil and they're kind of silly, but they're kind of evil at the same time. Because I don't think any of the other teams... I actually really liked Team Aqua and Team Magma, but the main problem I have with them is that their actual events and the dungeons that you had to fight them in were kind of annoying. But I did like them because I think they tried to make them way too serious in the later ones. Like, Team Rocket is cartoony, they just have a weird edge to them that actually makes them evil. But game villains aren't designed like that anymore, you know. Like, kids' villains used to be cartoony, but actually were pretty badass, and actually had, they were kind of silly, but they would actually do really evil things, so you're like, oh Jesus, that guy's pretty bad, but, a bit like, whatever that tiger was called in the Jungle Book. I can't remember. But he had that same kind of thing. He was a cartoony, silly guy, but he actually was really intimidating. But in the later games, or the original Pokemon, Team Rocket I felt was designed with that kind of mindset in mind for kids. That kids could take a intimidating villain, as long as there was like a silly kind of cartoonish element to him. But with the later Pokemon games, cartoons have kind of moved away from it. So with that, this is the end of the part. So there will be no more Team Rocket for the immediate future, and in the next part we will go off to the 8th gym. So I've been on Storm23. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.